Hey guys, what's up? GMXB1. I've got a bit of news today actually. I've got 4 pieces today. I'm going to start with Crytek, the makers of Ryse, Son of Rome, the Xbox One exclusive. So, what this article is saying is that Crytek, its shared secret of using Xbox One SRAM's full potential resulted in big bandwidth saves. So it says here, the increased power that the Xbox One and PS4 offer over the previous generation consoles has been as a hot topic now as it was when both consoles were launched. However, it's been observed that the Xbox One falls ever so slightly at best behind the PS4 in many frame rate tests, not including the lack of 1080p titles compared to Sony's console. Many developers have attributed this to the console's SRAM. Crytek has more than its share of experience with the same, having developed Ryse, Son of Rome, which is one of the best looking launch titles, if not the best, for either console, to date. So this article speaks to Crytek's US Engine Business Development Manager Sean Tracy about the advantages of using CryEngine when used with tiled textures, since SRAM is more suited for the latter. CryEngine has a unique and novel solution for this and was shipped with Ryse. One of the problems when using deferred shading is that it's very heavy on bandwidth usage / memory traffic. This gets exceptionally worse as overlapping lights cause considerable amounts of redundant read and write operations. In Ryse, our graphics engineers created a system called tiled shading to take advantage of the Xbox One. This splits the screen into tiles and generates a list of all the lights effective each tile using a compute shader. It then calls light by min-max extents of the tile. We then loop over the light list for each tile and apply shading. Ultimately, this resulted into bandwidth gains, and they were able to use just a single compute shader for coloring and lighting, which is simply phenomenal. In practice, this made for the biggest bandwidth save we could have hoped for, as just reading the gbuffer once and writing shading results once at the end for each pixel. Only a single compute shader was used in Ryse for light culling and executing entire lighting and shading pipelines. So that's why Ryse looks, to me, I'm not just saying this, but it is the best looking next gen game. I'm not just saying it because it's on X1, it is. When you play the game, when you see the cutscenes, when you see actual animations, even the mouth, even the speeches, even the skin, you can see it just looks phenomenal. It's just a brilliant game. I was streaming it last night on Twitch. I finished it. Well, I'm about 3% off because that bitch at the end is really hard. So I was just like, when you get annoyed and you're thinking, right, what else can I do now? I just took a break from it. So I am going to finish that today, and I'm also going to do it on Legendary. I'm going to start a Legendary playthrough on it. But if you've played Ryse and you've seen Ryse, you'll know what this guy's talking about, using the SRAM to the full potential. So, what do you think about that then? Because that is, it's just basically saying why it looks so good. So obviously they've come out and said this. Also, there's a new game being touted for the Xbox One. So, Crossing the Line unveiled for Xbox One. Explore the Land of the Dead, another CryEngine effort for the new Xbox. So it says here, Zomboco Entertainment has announced that Crossing the Line, a CryEngine powered mystical first person shooter, will appear on Xbox One. This game takes place in the present day and stars a policeman who can switch between the world of the living and the land and that of the dead. Spend too long in the latter and you may wind up becoming a permanent resident. Your objective is to save your wife from the Netherworld, having lost her to a terrorist attack some years previously. Zomboco Entertainment is in fact just one person. He's called Artyom Mironov, who lives and works in Moscow. Presumably his game will be released on Xbox One by the way of Microsoft's Idea Xbox program. There doesn't appear to be a publisher at the time of writing. So in other words, what it's saying here, there's not much to add right now other than below screenshots. The art style was more abstract to begin with, apparently, but Zomboco ultimately decided that a realistic look would be best. So I'm going to post these pictures in now for you, so you can have a look at these pictures. These are obviously just screenshots. So yeah, so that's another game coming through the ID at Xbox. I've got some news on Sunset Overdrive. Sunset Overdrive dev talks about X1 exclusivity. So Sunset Overdrive developer Insomniac Games has explained why it opted to pursue Xbox One exclusivity for the upcoming title, dismissing claims that it all came down to money. Taking to Twitter, the dev explained Microsoft felt like the best fit for the title as Insomniac didn't want to give up certain rights relating to the franchise. It wasn't about money, it was about controlling and owning the IP, and their belief and desire to execute our vision with us. Retaining our IP is always our number one concern. Microsoft is funding and publishing the game and believes in the idea. So this is like the same with Titanfall. They let EA keep the rights to Titanfall, even though it was an Xbox exclusive. So I mean, it's looking like Titanfall 2 is going to come to the PS4. We don't know yet, but we think it will do. So this, what this is saying is, Insomniac went to all these companies and said, look, we've got this and that, but we want to keep our IP. So obviously, either Sony was not interested or Sony wanted full rights to the game, whereas Insomniac said, well, no, because we want to keep our IP. So this is a thumbs up for Microsoft, because they're not thinking about themselves this time, they're thinking about the gamers. So if this is a success on the Xbox One, we could see Sunset Overdrive 2 being a multiplat. So we'll have to wait and see about that. I'll just carry on with what it's saying in the article. This falls in line with what the developer told us, and we asked just how Microsoft came to netting the game as an exclusive. There was a strong emphasis on keeping the rights to the franchise in-house, though a number of other publishers were pitched the idea. So this is like what I said about Titanfall, but it was the same with games. As you know, Microsoft have just bought the rights to Gears, but the previous Gears titles 1, 2 and 3, they were owned by Epic, but we never actually seen them on the PlayStation 3, so I won't get my fingers crossed for a PS4 version. It might happen, it might not happen, so yeah. Got last articles about there's an upcoming Xbox One update. It tweaks party chat and DVR bugs. An upcoming firmware patch for Xbox One will offer tweaks to the system's party chat. The new version 14.05 update will change the console's Get System Update button so that it will remain greyed out if there is no update to download. Likewise, it will display an update console text if firmware is available. Party chat issues will also see fixes, including a bug that mutes the chat unless the party app was snapped, as well as problems with the DVR clips recording without audio. Microsoft is still working on giving Xbox One owners the opportunity to preload games they've pre-ordered from the Xbox One game store. Responding in a thread titled Xbox One needs preloading, Major Nelson wrote, all I can say right now is that yes, we want this feature as well. So last summer, Microsoft's Mark Whitten, then the chief product officer for Xbox, told IGN that while the ability to preload digital games wouldn't be available at the launch of the Xbox One, Microsoft would add that feature eventually. So we're getting more updates now. We're talking about, I've had about 3 or 4 updates in the past 2 weeks on the Xbox One, so they are working tirelessly to get this system good. It is going to have teething bugs with these updates. I've had to uninstall a few apps myself because it says there's an update for it. When you go press install, it takes you to the store, then it says play, and then it says launch, and then it'll just bring you back to the install thing. So what I've just done is just took whether it's a game or an app, and just took it out, and that seemed to have fixed it when you reinstall it. Now we all know the exact load times for the Xbox One games. It can be a pain in the arse. You can wait up to an hour and a half even for a full game. But what I suggest you do is, there's a quick tip here. Once you sign into your Xbox Live, sign out of Xbox Live, disconnect the wireless on your thing, and then put the game in. It takes about 7 minutes tops to install the game because it's not connected to the Xbox Live. So I don't know why this works like this, but it does. It does work. I have done it myself. And then when you connect to Xbox Live, if the game's got uninstalled, it will just install it when you launch the game. So that's all for today, guys. So thanks for watching, and keep it gaming, and stay tuned for more vids. Thanks a lot, guys. See you later. Bye bye.